All right, let's get going here. Today, I'm going to make a video on the top 5 beaches I think you should check out in Santa Rosa Beach. Let's jump right in. All right, I'm going to share my screen with you guys so you can take a look at this. The first one that we're going to take a look at is a beach access that we used to live by. It's amazing. It's awesome. It's called Dune Allen Beach. And I'm going to show you real quick kind of on the Google view. And then we're going to start on the, let me move my head over here in the middle. We're going to start on the very west side of 38, and we're going to move our way east. And we're going to talk about public beaches and private beaches and what that exactly means. So the first beach we're talking about, Dune Allen Beach, is a public beach, which means it has parking, it has bathrooms, things like that. You can see right here. Here's the bathroom. There's also restaurants just right across the street. There are some areas where you can, have a picnic, things like that, if you don't want to eat on the beach. Now, this is a public beach right up until here, and then Walton County has a customary use ordinance going into effect. It's in effect, and it's you probably heard of it. It's where you're not really supposed to hang out on people's property that go towards the water line, and there's a mean high water line which is established based on where the water averages out to go. And, a couple years ago, they put up chain link fences. They put up, signs that said no trespassing. And it really, pissed off a lot of people who are coming here, spending a lot of money. And then you have, whoever, this person on the beach putting up a sign that says, don't touch my sand. Don't camp out behind my house. So there are some places that still have these signs. If you see them, it's just like anywhere else, just be courteous. If there's there really is plenty of beach. I mean, you look out here, I mean, you can really hang out anywhere. There's not like it's completely packed or anything like that. But if somebody says, hey, this is a private beach, blah, 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 I just move my chair 10 feet over. It's all good. I don't let it break my day up. So the great thing about the public beaches versus private beaches, though, is you're going to have lifeguards. You're going to have the ability to get help or, to point, help to help somebody else or whatever. So you'll notice right here, we've got lifeguards, which is amazing. They keep an eye on everybody, make sure everybody's having a good time. So that's the first stop I'd recommend is the old Dune Allen. And this is kind of the older area of 38 too, which is nice. All right, let's talk about the next one. This is Blue Mountain Beach. So Blue Mountain Beach is considered one of the highest areas on 38. So from a real estate standpoint, if you like high and dry, I'd recommend a little Blue Mountain Beach for you. This is some beautiful shots right here too. I know if you're probably in Chicago or New York or something, you're like, man, I wish I was chilling on a beach, having a little lemonade or something like that, But this is another public beach. So the benefit of the public beach, just to remind you, is you're going to have lifeguards, which you can see right here. They put these cones up just so you don't camp out in there because they might have to ride the four-wheeler. The four-wheeler, you can't really see it, but there's actually a jet ski hooked up to the back of this four-wheeler, and they back it into the water, and they can shoot out, and rescue somebody if they get caught in a rip current or something like that, and they're way out here. They can get to them really quick. So this is another public beach, which is great. And you also have trash cans, things like that, just nice amenities. And you'll notice here, I want to show you real quick. There's a flag that will indicate any issues, marine life, things like that in the water that you need to be aware of. So the first thing you should look at when you're going to the beach, and you can actually text, Walton County has a text code. You can text them and they'll give you the daily beach flag conditions. And yellow just means use caution, right? But there's yellow, there's green, there's red, there's purple. Purple's marine life. It could be jellyfish, it could be sharks. We don't get sharks too often, it's kind of usually it's a freak thing that somebody sees a shark and everybody freaks out. It's like Shark Week or whatever. But I mean, the chances of seeing a shark are kind of like getting hit by lightning, really. I mean, it's pretty slim to none. But anyways, and this is this beach. So really cool beach, great area. And it's pretty quiet. This is a quiet area because there's not, and by the way, I really like Santa Rosa Beach beaches because there's no condo buildings. There's no high rise. One Seagrove Place is the only real high rise on 38. The rest of them are very low density, and you're going to have a lot of houses. You look around here in this area, and I can even go up a little bit farther. Let me see if I can pull my little guy up. If you come up to here to this area, these are just houses. They're just houses all around. You're not going to have these huge condo buildings where there's 700 people, you know, trying to pack into a beach. So they're very low density. And again, right here is your bathroom. So that's really cool and nice to have. All right, the third one I want to talk about, my favorite, by far the best, the coolest place, you have to check it out, is Grayton Beach. Best beach out there, period, hands down. Why? Well, the cool thing is there's a coastal dune lake on Grayton Beach. So right here you have basically like I call it like a kiddie pool. It's about a foot, maybe 2 feet deep. You can see all these little kids hanging out, their paddleboard and stuff like that. It's a very controlled environment. You can see that there's sand on either side, and this lets out sometimes into the Gulf of Mexico, which is really cool. But it's a very family friendly place, and it's the only place on 38 you can still drive a vehicle to the beach, but you have to have a permit. If you want to know more about that, you can Google driving beach permit Walton County. You can see the details on that. You do have to have a handicap designation and a four-wheel drive vehicle to get out there. And you can see right here, if you kind of look, there's a vehicle right here on the beach, parked on the beach. This is something that you don't see really anywhere else, which is really cool. Let me take a drink here. All right. And I also wanted to, and this beach is huge, by the way. This beach is absolutely huge. Hey, and look, another red flag. Pay attention to those. This beach is massive, and it's not so cramped. That's what I like about it. It's spread out. I mean, you got like, I don't know what this is, 300 foot. It's huge. And, the amount of area you have, nobody's going to be in your business. If somebody's playing loud music, you can move over to a quiet spot if you want to. I like to come over here and set up right here and put my toes in the water, watch my kids play, whatever. You can even have a fishing rod. If you want to fish, you can kind of go back here where there's some little cool spots to fish. But anyways, Grayton Beach must check out. All right, let's get into the other ones. WaterColor. Now, if you don't know about WaterColor, WaterColor is a newer community, and I say, last 20, 25 years. These other communities, as we looked at before, those are older. Those are, 60-year or 1960s plus. There's some really old houses in that area. WaterColor it's a fantastic community with amazing amenities. I'm just going to show you real quick here. They have an entire beach club. Now, this is private. You cannot just walk in. You have to be staying on property or an owner or know a guy who knows a guy. So I'll just leave it at that. But they've recently done amazing renovations. This is the WaterColor Inn. There's restaurants. It's beautiful. Here's a really good picture. Let me show you this real quick. This, it's absolutely amazing. I mean, look at this. You got the Dune Lake in the background. You got the beach over here, and it's surrounded by protected area. This is all protected area. So, and it's actually, there's a campground over here too that you can camp at. If you're into camping, I love camping myself. Book it months out though. Like it's crazy. People are nuts to camp at these places. But anyway, so you've got a kiddie area down here. This is kind of I would say more of an adults pool. And then right here, you've got kind of the community, the everybody pool. And then you've got food, drink, bars, whatever you want. And then you just kind of come right out and you're on the beach. There's a little walkway just south of here that takes you right to the beach. So, but like I said, WaterColor, you have to stay there. It's private. Okay, enough said. All right. The last one I'm going to talk about today is Rosemary Beach. And the beach is great. It's a private beach, so you kind of have to be staying on property or a guest, renter, something like that. But I really like Rosemary Beach. The beach isn't super deep like we just saw at Grayton, and it's not super wide like we saw over at the WaterColor Beach. But it's cool because it's got so much to do. So Rosemary, if you don't know, and if you've never been, it's a very unique town. So there's a lot to do in Rosemary. So if I can click on some pictures, I can show you. It's just super cool. The architecture, it's vibey. It's got really, boutique style shops where you're not going to find, the everyday brands. You're going to find some really cool stuff. And there's a lawn where you can go and things like that. But here's a great picture. This is the Pearl right here, which is a kind of a cornerstone in Rosemary Beach that stands out. Everybody kind of knows it. There's a bar down here. There's a restaurant. It's a beautiful area to check out. My wife recently ran a marathon over there, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And if you're not a big summer person, if you're like, I don't want to be there when it's 90 degrees, it's too hot for me. If you come in the wintertime, look at this. I mean, it's like, you're going to Aspen. It's amazing. Everything is so beautiful. The people are so great there. Rent a bicycle, go for a bike ride down 38. That's one of my favorite things to do. My wife and I both have e-bikes. Highly recommend an e-bike, a pedal assist rather, where if you get tired, you can just, let the bike pull you around a little bit. And some of these areas you're going to find there's some big hills. Everybody thinks Florida's like flat, but you try to get up some of these hills, especially after listening to some music and having a beer, you're like, this is some hard work. But anyways, I wanted to share with you these 5 beaches because I think they're really cool to check out. Tell me what you think. If you like this content, like it, subscribe to it. If you dig it, if you don't, that's okay. I'm still going to make it. And I hope you have an amazing day and go out there and have some fun.